Hi everyone, hope you're doing good. Once again, thank you for getting on my channel for Canada. And today I'm going to talk about what to expect when you are entering Canada. When you are entering the country, what sort of questions are you likely to be asked? Okay, because you getting your visa is not the end. You getting your visa, right? That is not the end. You can be returned at the airport. You should know that. I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm not trying to add to your anxiety. I'm just giving you a reality check. But it's not something scary anyways. When you get out of your plane and you're coming in, you're still going to encounter immigration officers face to face this time. And they're going to ask you a couple of questions before they issue out your study permit or your work permit or whatever document it is. Because what you get from Ghana is the visa, right, to travel here. So let's say, for instance, you got a study permit. Okay, you got a visa. The visa is not a study permit, just so you know. The visa they gave you, that's not the real study permit, right? You use that to travel. That's what you are going to use to travel. It's a permission to come into the country. Once you get out of the plane, here are certain things you should do. Of course, even before you get on that plane, you know that in your backpack or in your carry-on, mostly your backpack, you should have your documents arranged. Okay? You should have your documents ready. Your admission letter should be there, the original one. Print out the original. I advise you print out the original, like print it in colors. It's not going to be original, but like print it from the electronic version, but in colors, right? Your documents, say your academic documents, whatever it is, just copies, just in case, all right? So mostly your admission letters, if you have scholarship, whatever it is from the school, you pick that, add your documents, your personal documents as well as academic documents. Just have copies ready. Okay, of course, passport, of course. It's a no-brainer, passport, and the passport will have your visa in it already. Your flight ticket, I don't think anyone will ask you at that point you are getting off the plane. But so you're gonna have that ready. Depending on the airport, say you are at Toronto Pearson International. When you come out, you go through the queue. You're going to be in a queue. You come to a point where you are going to have to deal with immigration officers. At that point, you will see instructions. If you are a permanent resident or Canadian citizen, the lane is different or the queue is different. If you are any other person, any other visas, your queue is different. You follow the queue that you have to go to. You scan your passport, a sheet will come out, pick that sheet, and then go to pick the sheet that's printed from the computers. Then you go straight to the immigration officer. That's when you ask you a couple of questions, and they may ask to see your documents. Of course, they will definitely take your passport. Of course, obviously, your passport, and look at the visa, right? And your school. So here are some questions you're going to be asked. And let me tell you, this depends on the type of visa you have, right? You should know it depends on the type of visa. So generally, they're going to ask you, where are you visiting today? Why are you coming into Canada today? Okay, it's obvious. Sometimes it's obvious that you have a study permit. You're coming to school, but they're going to ask you. And simple, be straightforward, be simple. I'm going to school. I got an admission to school. I'm going to so and so school. Don't talk about the course if you're not asked what course are you studying, what program. My brother, my sisters, don't overshare. And I think this this goes to any other person going to even visa interviews, say US. Do not overshare. Why are you visiting Canada? Why are you coming into Canada? I'm going to school. Simple. Simple. Don't go, oh, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to so and so school. If he asks you, what school are you going to? Niagara College, Brock University, Moore College, Humber College, Centennial College. What program are you studying? Architecture, political science. Simple questions. Of course, be friendly, have a smile, but like just know your limits. Number two, at the borders, they also ask usually, besides why are you visiting, they ask where are you going or who are you visiting. So depending on your visa, if you are just visiting, who are you going to? Where exactly are you going? I've been asked some of these questions whenever I'm crossing the US border. Hey, why are you coming to US today? Hey, I'm just going to the mall, Galleria Mall. Or I'm going to, if you say I'm going to Buffalo, where in Buffalo? Who are you visiting? Are you visiting any particular person? They ask you this question. Who are you going to? Where? That's the city you're visiting. Which city are you in? So if you don't know the city your school in, you don't know the school the city that your school is in, some of this information you should have it. Where would you be staying is another question. So depending on your visa, again, depending on the visa, right? So they can ask you, where would you be staying? I'm staying with a friend, or I'm staying at so and so place. If you are visiting, especially if you're a visitor, they want to know that you have a place you're staying. You're not just going to be sleeping in the street or something. All right? And students, I wasn't asked that question. Where would I be staying? No. They just asked me, why am I coming to Canada? What school? I know the guy asked me what school. I showed the school. He took my acceptance letter. Then another question: how long are you staying? That's especially if you're a visitor. They're gonna ask you, how long are you staying? So if you don't know how long you're staying and you're on a visitor's visa, know that for a visitor you cannot stay more than 6 months. Just know. So don't go and tell the person you're staying for a year. You're on a visitor's visa, depending on which kind of visa, okay? Because some people have super visas, okay? Now, how are you paying for the trip? Especially, this one is also tourists, visitors. How are you paying for the trip? No, it's another question. Then another question. They're gonna ask you, what are you bringing with you today? What are you bringing with you? What kind of food are you bringing with you? What kind of stuff how much money are you bringing with you? Yes, they ask, how much money do you have on you in current Canadian currency? Remember, you cannot come in with a certain amount of money. I think it's 10,000 or something. It cannot be more than 10,000. From 10,000, look, cash, especially cash. They are talking about cash. So be careful. What are you bringing with you? That's if you say meat, there are certain things you cannot use them to cross the border. Or there are certain things you have to be careful when you are bringing them. I think I'll make another video on how to pack. Certain things you shouldn't be bringing raw stuff. They don't like that, even if it's vegetables. Especially they are afraid of insects and such. So there you go. So these are just some of the questions. I know some people may have a lot of other questions that they've encountered. You can leave them in the comment. Another one, if you are visiting your spouse, who are you visiting? You said your spouse. They are going to ask you questions like, when did you get married? What's the date of marriage? marriage. They can ask you questions about that person you're visiting. What's your spouse doing in Canada? Where does your spouse live in Canada? These are questions you have to have answers for. What is your spouse doing in Canada? Where is she living? Where is she living? What is she doing? You're going to ask this question. When are you married? How many kids do you have? How long are you staying? So be ready to answer these questions. Then, if you satisfy the immigration officer, they will now issue you a paper. It's a sheet of paper that will have your study permit, to have your information on. That paper will now be clipped into one of the pages of your passport. Then now you are on your way. All right, thank you so much. This is it. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to share the information. We are sharing information with you. If you think this is helpful, share with other people. That's the most important thing, sharing information. If you come across information that's good, share. It's for Canada across all platforms. Follow me and have a good day. And I hope everything works out for you regarding your visa applications, school applications, coming into Canada, or wherever it is. Have a good one. Bye.